Welcome to a channel that puts misconduct on display. We explore police and legal encounters. We protect rights and demand accountability. Today's feature is brought to us by Northern Audits, a creator who deserves full recognition for his courage and persistence in documenting reality. His work is linked in the description, so be sure to show him your support. In this episode, he travels to the Trillion factory in Elland armed with nothing more than a camera and a drone. His mission is simple: document the facility from public space and share the truth with his audience. But the moment he arrives, security begins their game of intimidation. They claim he cannot film despite having zero legal authority to enforce such a ban. They escalate quickly, calling the police as if the presence of officers will somehow transform a lawful act into a crime. This is where the real story begins, and this is where ignorance meets accountability.
Fly the drone over now. I'm going to just take off.
No, you're not.
Absolutely.
You're not allowed. There's overhead lines, power lines. It's against the law. You do that, we'll phone the police and you'll be arrested.
Oh, don't phone police. Come on, that'd be silly, wouldn't it? I will be quick, I promise. I'll fly over and you'll just see it go across a few times and I won't be long, yeah? See my drone license?
Yeah.
You don't need
flying it over our facility, I need to see your license.
You don't need to see my license. Why would you need to see my license?
Property, and we've got intellectual property on that facility.
I'm about to take it over now.
You're not taking it over.
I'm definitely
phone the police.
Don't phone police. Come on, that's silly, isn't it? Just for a bit of drone footage.
Yeah.
Come on, don't be silly. Come on. Got two of them now.
Stop filming as well.
But come on, don't be like that. Come on.
You've been asked politely 3 times.
You're at 999 in that, are you? Oh, you're kidding? Ring 101, that'll take ages, 101, won't it? But so I'm going to take it off soon, but don't be like that.
Security tells the auditor that he cannot use his drone because of overhead power lines, claiming it is illegal to fly and threatening immediate arrest. They insist on seeing a drone license. They demand he stop filming, and they even threaten to call 999 despite the fact that nothing illegal is happening. This is a textbook example of how private security fabricates authority when none exists. Instead of de-escalating, they pour fuel on the fire. Their approach exposes a lack of training and an even bigger lack of knowledge, because the truth is simple: flying a drone in a lawful manner from a public location is not a crime, yet they act as if the sky belongs to them.
You want to tell me then what you've been doing?
I'm not going to tell you anything that I don't need to tell you.
Right, okay.
You've just come here and just accosted me for nothing.
Right.
We've got guys out there shouting through, he needs to delete that footage.
Yes.
I need to delete my footage.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
There are basically 3 rules with filming, very similar to the use of CCTV. Yeah?
Here we go, come on. Come on, cop explain.
If you're filming yourself, you can do what you like.
Ooh, yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, you're filming me, you can do what you like, I don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
More than welcome to. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're filming a private space, so if you are filming, well, initially if you're filming a public space, you can do, but you need to be willing to show that footage to whoever asks. You also need to comply with the Data Protection Act, which means that you need to be willing to delete that footage should they ask.
The situation becomes even more absurd when security calls 999 over an activity that is not remotely urgent. This misuse of police resources is not only reckless but dangerous. Every false call diverts officers from genuine emergencies. It is a direct waste of taxpayer money and time, and it shows how businesses misuse law enforcement to settle disputes they should be handling with professionalism. The reality is clear. Businesses call police not because a crime has been committed, but because they dislike being recorded. Instead of respecting lawful activity, they choose to weaponize law enforcement, and this should concern everyone.
Go on then.
Data protection only applies to businesses. It doesn't apply to individuals. There you go. Look, that's your first mistake, yeah?
It does apply to individuals. And if you're saying it only applies to businesses, that's a business, and they've asked you to delete it.
No, I'm not a business, so I don't have to delete it.
Right, you do.
You're talking rubbish on camera.
Ask you to.
You're talking rubbish on camera.
Because otherwise, no, I'm not talking rubbish, because otherwise, what you're doing is surveillance. Have you got a ripper? Have you applied for a ripper? Do you know what a ripper is?
A what, sorry?
A ripper.
What's a ripper?
A ripper?
No.
A ripper is the paperwork to allow you to do surveillance, which is what you're doing.
When officers arrive, things only spiral further. One officer in particular demonstrates a shocking ignorance of the law. He claims that anyone filming in public must be prepared to show their footage to whoever asks. He even claims that under the Data Protection Act, individuals must delete footage if requested. This is false. This is fabricated. This is a complete misunderstanding of the law. The Data Protection Act applies to businesses and organizations that process personal data. It does not apply To private citizens filming for personal use, this officer is inventing rules on the spot and exposing his lack of training for the world to see.
Can you identify yourself, please? Because you just walked up to me. And yourself, lady. Thank you very much.
Okay. So what you are doing is surveillance. You've just said you're taking photographs. Yeah.
I haven't said that. I've not confirmed anything.
Right. That's a form of surveillance. You're telling me that you're filming, that you've filmed over there. That is a company. They've asked you to delete the footage of what you're filming there, of what you filmed there.
I won't be deleting.
Are you refusing to do so?
Well, obviously, there's
Why?
nobody. I'll tell you what. I'll let you know. Right. I'll let you know the law, that yeah.
Right.
Only a court can make me.
The officer then escalates by invoking REPA, the Regulation of Investigatory Powers Act, suggesting the auditor is conducting surveillance and therefore requires legal authorization. This is nonsense. REPA applies only to covert surveillance conducted by public bodies like law enforcement and intelligence agencies. It has nothing to do with private individuals filming from a public place. To even mention it in this context shows complete incompetence. If REPA applied to citizens, then every tourist, journalist or vlogger with a camera would be breaking the law. This officer is not just mistaken, he is embarrassing himself on camera and attempting to intimidate with laws that do not apply.
There you go. So you can't delete it, you can't ask me to, well, you can ask me to about that after.
There is a government ombudsman that deals with footage like that.
Lovely.
Okay?
Yeah.
They can take you to court, certainly.
Yeah.
And they will prosecute you, and they will fine you. And it is hundreds of thousands of pounds. Because it's the same rules and regulations that we use for surveillance.
All I would say is, good luck trying to get £100,000 out of me. I literally haven't got £100,000. If you don't pay that, then it's potentially a prison sentence, then, isn't it? Ooh, prison. God, I don't want to get him.
The officer continues by demanding that the footage be deleted, insisting that failure to comply could result in massive fines or even prison time. He even references a government ombudsman who supposedly has the power to prosecute individuals for recording from public space. None of this is true. There is no such power, there is no such penalty, there is no such requirement. This is pure intimidation by misinformation. The truth is only a court order can compel deletion, and even then only under very specific legal grounds. This officer is attempting to manufacture authority that simply does not exist.
Will you delete the footage that you filmed over there?
You can ask, can't you?
I can ask. Will now.
I've not confirmed or denied whether I'm going to delete the footage.
Will you delete the footage? Please.
What would you do if I don't delete the footage? I'm going back over in a minute. The drone's going back up in a minute.
Right. Okay, well, potentially we can get officers here to arrest you and take you away.
Arrest me for what? What? Listen,
right,
what
for
law?
breach of data protection.
That's not. You're under arrest for breach of data protection.
Right.
Yeah. You don't have to say anything when questioned. Yeah. Under arrest.
As the encounter drags on, the auditor remains calm. He stands his ground. He knows his rights. He knows the law. He reminds the officer that under UK law only a court can mandate deletion. He reminds him that individuals are not subject to data protection laws in the same way businesses are, and he reminds him that filming from a public space is not surveillance but lawful photography. The officer refuses to back down, clinging to misinformation in a desperate attempt to assert control. This is no longer about legality, this is about ego and intimidation.
Really are talking nonsense. When the actual police officer gets here, if I bother waiting for him, I might just get the footage now and drive off on my bike. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. I might just do that, but we'll see anyway. I'll tell you what, we'll wait for the officer to come and he will tell you you're talking absolute nonsense. You'll just walk off like, and that'll be it. Get in the car and go. Are you going to go now so I can finish my drone footage?
No, I'm not.
You're not going to go?
No, I'm not. No. You seem to be enjoying filming me, so...
This is crazy. So, are you going to waste police time just by standing here?
Yeah, because you're intent on doing that, so...
I'm not.
The farce reaches new heights when the officer threatens arrest for breach of data protection, as if such a thing were even possible. The truth is, data protection breaches are civil matters pursued through regulatory enforcement, not criminal arrests. The officer's claim is both laughable and dangerous because it spreads misinformation to the public. Watching this unfold, even more telling is the fact that the officer himself admits he cannot arrest anyone, confirming that he is a PCSO with limited powers. His threats of arrest are hollow, yet he continues to posture, wasting more and more time.
Not even explaining yourself as to why you don't want to.
I just don't feel like it.
Don't feel like it?
Yeah. What did you have for breakfast this morning? Why did you have it? You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. And as I say, you know, you don't feel like you're being completely obstructive. You know, I've been completely reasonable with you. I've spoken to you politely.
Can I just explain to you the situation, right, from a high level point of view, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So go on then.
I'm stood in a public place.
Yep.
This is a public place. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm filming from a public place. I'm flying my drone from a public place. I'm abiding by all the drone laws.
Right.
I'm abiding by all the filming laws.
Right.
You guys have come here telling me I'm committing an offence.
Yep.
And now you stood there and you won't leave.
Right.
And you've admitted that you're going to stand here wasting police time.
Right. Okay.
Crazy. We're in a really crazy situation here.
Okay. I've asked to see the footage. Why aren't you going to show me the footage?
I don't have to. I don't have to, and I don't want to.
Right.
I've got more footage to get yet. You know what I mean? I've literally got. I'm running out of time to get all this droned over. I've got some other places I need to get to.
If you filmed somebody and somebody asks you to then delete it, you have to be willing to at least show them with it and explain why you're not going to delete it, and explain to someone in authority.
Under what law? That ends the conversation, doesn't it? Really, under what law? If you explain to me the laws that require me to do something, if you explain to me the law that requires.
The auditor asks repeatedly if the officer plans to leave, but the PCSO refuses. He openly admits he will waste police time by remaining until the footage is deleted. This is a stunning admission of unprofessionalism. An officer who acknowledges he has no authority yet chooses to escalate anyway. This behavior is not about enforcing law, it is about intimidation and control. The longer he stays, the clearer it becomes that he is clinging to power he does not have and knowledge he does not possess. This is misconduct through ignorance and arrogance.
Right. Do you have permission to fly over there with it being private property?
What permission? This is what I've just been through with these guys. What permission do I need?
It's classed as private property there, so classed as trespass.
It's not classed as trespass. If it is classed as a trespass, if I were flying low causing a nuisance, that would be a civil trespass.
It is a civil matter, you're right.
That would be a civil trespass. So I don't know why you guys would be getting involved. But if I fly it high, it's not classed as a trespass. You don't, you know, if an helicopter flies over, you don't class it as a trespass, do you?
I don't think there's any sort of minimum horizontal distance anywhere with drones anymore. I think it's changed.
Exactly.
You probably know more than I do, to be honest.
Yeah, I reckon.
Eventually a police constable arrives hoping to bring clarity, but instead he repeats the same errors. He claims that flying a drone over private property is trespass, even though drone trespass would be a civil matter, not a criminal one. He compares drones to intruding into a private home, conflating privacy laws meant to protect individuals with airspace regulations that apply to businesses. This is not only misleading, it is a complete failure to distinguish between public airspace and private property rights. Once again, the officers demonstrate that they do not understand the law they are meant to enforce.
Committing a crime, yeah, I would have been on my toes now on that little bike and nobody would have caught me, but I'm not committing a crime, that's why I'm still standing here. I just want to prove to everybody that I'm, you know.
And I don't think you have committed a crime.
Excellent.
You should be in handcuffs.
Exactly.
However, I've got to try and work with you.
Yeah, you can
so
try and work.
in terms of when you're flying a drone in public, like you're doing now, you can film anywhere.
Yeah.
Nobody can stop you. You're entitled to film what you want, which isn't an issue. However, once you cross over the border into sort of where factories are, it's private property, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's no.
How would you feel if somebody encroached into your private home and started filming you?
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's residential. So if
Well, it is, but it's still private.
If you fly over somebody's residential house and you're like looking in the windows or something, that's covered under privilege, like a business or something like that. Just getting some aerial footage and whatnot. There's no.
You're supposed to seek authority from them first, really, to stay private property.
No, that's an opinion. That's not a fact.
It's
you know.
not.
Yeah,
it's a fact. It's private property.
No, because I tell you what. Then
it is a civil matter and it is trespass.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. As soon as you've been so nice to me when you come over, you kept your distance or whatever, I'll let you know, because I know a bit more about you than the drone laws. Yeah. Basically, I can fly over there with this sub 250 drone. I can fly over the private property, and that's because they do not control the airspace or own the airspace. The Civil Aviation Authority controls and owns the airspace, and there are no. I checked before I launched. There are no controls in place over this airspace here, and airports. There's controls in place.
You're right.
Yeah. So you can't fly over them because the Civil Aviation Authority says you can't, and it's actually a crime to do that. Whereas the airspace over this facility here is not owned by this facility. They can't tell me whether or not I can fly something over or not. It's literally owned and controlled by the Civil Aviation Authority, and there's no controls in place.
Have you finished for today?
Nearly. I have got a little bit more. When these two arrived, I had to stop filming because I just wanted to have a quick chat with them just to make sure they weren't going to, jump me out.
I don't really do that.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I just thought I'd just...
Right, we're not those type of people.
Yeah, good, that's really
You've
good.
got a job to do. If somebody raises concerns, we've got to come and speak to him. Get to
Absolutely, yeah. What you'd be best off doing, just nipping in and just telling him what he's doing is completely legal. That would be your job today. You'd literally just go in and just say, look, I know you might not like it, but what he's doing is completely legal. We haven't got any jurisdiction. The guy's not committed a crime, so we...
I say I've not got an issue with you. You don't always give your name right, are you?
Oh no, definitely not, no, thank you. And there we go, guys. This guy knows a little bit more about police.
The auditor holds firm. He reminds the constable that civil trespass is not a police matter. He explains that airspace is regulated by the Civil Aviation Authority, not private companies. He points out that if helicopters can fly overhead without committing trespass, so can drones, and he notes that his sub-250 drone falls within legal limits for operation. He is calm, he is precise, he is correct, and in contrast the officers appear confused and uninformed. This is a moment where knowledge dismantles authority and the truth prevails.